Right, attempt number X. Hopefully this time without autofocus issues and stuff. So I want to talk about the G515 Lightspeed TKL Logitech disassembly. As you can notice, I'm not a professional YouTuber, streamer, whatever, so this is going to be a one-off. Don't hit likes or share, subscribe, or whatever. Uh, no need for that. So I had issues with this keyboard. I have it for 2 years now. I had issues with the keyboard that some of these uh, uh, keys were bouncing, jittering, chattering, whatever. I couldn't fix the software in Linux because it uses different kinds of software to run the keyboard input, etc. It was annoying. Tried it, didn't work properly. So I was like, okay, fine. Let's first try to clean it, right? That's a common step, right? If these things don't work, just clean. So I use an air compressor, right? A proper one. All these switches to get the debris out, and it needed a cleaning, right? So I've done that. But it didn't help. Then I use also contact spray to make sure this switch is actually clean. Also didn't help. Like I was like, fine. Uh, I know how to solve. So I was like, okay, then let's replace these switches that are not working properly with either ones that I don't use a lot or replace them with new, whatever. So I tried taking these caps off because this usually you can use a key puller or so screwdriver, whatever. Just take off the entire switch. I wasn't aware that these were solid. I should have done my homework, and if I would have looked a little bit better, then I would have realized these are solid. But that was too late already. So fine, I took this one off and I snapped this one off, so this front, and I won't go back. It's fine. Uh, I already needed to remove this one, so like fine, I need to solder it anyway. I was like, okay, fine, I need to get the PCB. So what I usually do, right? And I've taken apart many devices before. Then you look for screws that you can visibly see. Take out the screws, and then of course you find the screws for the battery compartment. Right, you take out the battery compartment, and take out the battery that's in here. You take that out and look for more. And there was one screw. Like, well, okay, fine. And then you start to look at uh, other parts that are visible. Right, more screws here. Uh, Also check under the rubber feet. There were two screws up here. This one did not have screws, so I don't need to remove them. Tip, uh, these things are stuck with adhesive, right? So put them back to back. That piece is clean. So I took these screws out, and there was no more screws that I could see from this part. So took my trusty spudgers, right? So the plastic one, don't use the metal one, use the plastic one. Start poking, right? And I could at some point lift a little bit, but I couldn't get anywhere properly without actually force. It was like, yeah, this is too much force. At some point, you get a feel, this is too much force. Couldn't get around here, right? So I was like, fine. Then I started to look, of course, at posts, and I found a Reddit post, which I put in the description, and that was really helpful. Thank you very much. Also had some pictures, and that basically told me that this front part needed to come off. This first layer, and I'll talk see layers why. And this is basically a sticker that is covering the metal plate where uh, you know, the stuff is. So there's metal plate below this. Um, Word of caution: do not use the heat gun, as you can probably see. I already messed up um, at stage 2. So first I was like, okay, let's just use a hair dryer, right? Because that's rather safe, low, medium heat, right? Just try to see if I can take it off, and it started to work a little bit. I started using high. That was getting too hard one for my hands, so put it back on medium, and then started to actually start in the corner here and just pry it off, and then going down, and slowly it would come off. And I just let the gravity, right, just let it drop down, and have the head right just point this way and warm, and basically at some point it would come off. And you can already see this thing is full of adhesive. So this took about half an hour to get this thing off properly, just by letting it just let gravity do its thing. Don't pull too hard. Just keep this up in the air a little bit. Just let it take your time. I could get off because you see there's a lot of adhesive and this stuff is strong. I mean, even if you flick it back like this, you can already notice that it's sticking. So then I took that off and it was already got through stuff. It was like, there's adhesive. I want to take the screws out. Each adhesive was getting annoying. There's like 20-ish screws you need to take out here. It's all with some of the different sizes as well, different lengths, blah, annoying. Anyway, so I was like, okay, let's take this adhesive off, and I've done it before. And that's where I screwed up with the heat gun, because of course this adhesive doesn't come loose with heat properly. You need long terms of lower heat to actually get it a little bit. And of course I was impatient and I used the heat gun, and of course this thing started melting. Fine. I mean, I'm an idiot. I can replace these. That's not an issue, and I will, or might not. I don't know. But don't. Usually a little bit of heat takes this off right away, right? You can just basically pull it off. This stuff is just annoying. Yeah. So yeah, don't use heat gun. Use a head dry maximum, and be warned that this PLA or whatever this smells like crazy. And also, see here, there's a little bit of warp, but this should probably still fine. Anyway, so taking all the screws out, and that was already a pain. And then you have the back side comes off first. So yeah, there's a multiple layers to this thing. So remember that I said to put this lip here, right in the middle. You can take that. Then you'll basically pull off. You can take your spudger all the way around. And you'll actually remove the back plastic. Only the back plastic, right? So there's nothing here yet. And you can see like how many screws there are on this thing. So back. Then we are stuck with the front here, and of course still not actually the PCB. There's another plastic layer. It's a little bit trickier, this one, and there's actually two more layers. So first one, take your spudger again between the bottom and the top one. You basically pull it open like a sort of like a sandwich. This, because you'll need to. You can see here as well. Out. And before you do it, by the way, there's always look for more screws. I think there's 2 more or 3 more screws you need to take out for this to actually pull this apart. So beware that you have to flip it open, then you can pull it out. So flip open, pull. So yeah, now I have the middle part. This is probably also a little bit warped with the heat. Stupid me. Doesn't matter. So we have the front part, the back part. Now we still can't get to the PCB, right, to desolder these things. I think there is 3 more screws on this, black ones as well, different size length. So have a very good look for screws on these things. There's I think a total of 50-ish screws. No, this is gonna be, let's see, like 30-ish screws total. It's way too much. Doesn't make any sense. Anyway, so this also comes loose with more screws you need to remove, and then you can use spudger and basically go in between here. See this? So you can do the same thing again. But also it folds open like also so it has to seem like a book, right? So a sandwich, flip it open, then you have to pull it out again. Pull. This basically slides right out like this. Clamp down or open, pull, and insert come down. Same for the other one. So more layers. Now you're stuck with this. So now we can actually get to the PCB and we can start desoldering. There's this is metal. This is metal plate where this plastic cover was. I don't know why the plastic cover was there. It makes no sense. I'm sorry. Don't try to take off this metal plate. There is some kind of Probably can't see it on camera, but there's some kind of gasket, some gray gasket in here. That's that's also a spacer between the PCB and the metal. And this is also dual side taped or dual side adhesive. Don't try to take this off. You don't need to. There's no need to take this off because you can actually remove the software and you can just take out the keys. There's these metal things in here. These metal rods. Usually for normal keyboards, you will have the springs on the side of the key and then push up the metal rod, right? And that's where the key will rest. These ones are just laid in here. I have no idea why, because they don't do anything. They are below the adhesive, so they're below the plastic, so they just sit here. And these black things, those aren't springy. The only spring here is in the switch. So a bit weird of a design, but hey, but it is what it is. Anyway, you can dissolve now. Don't take it as metal. Don't use too much heat. Be careful with it. What else? That's it. So if I could save anyone from having to do this incorrectly, I hope that I saved your keyboard. And yeah, that's it. Remember, don't like, follow, subscribe. One off. Thank you very much for the guy that put it on Reddit. Oh, that's actually Grant52 from r/mechanical keyboards. I'll put the link in the description. Thank you very much for this, and hopefully I saved you the pain of trying to disassemble this thing because it takes over an hour. It takes over an hour to actually disassemble all this crap, and yeah, pain. Boo, boo, Logitech. This is repairable-ish. Is all right. Bye.